Hey, Declan.
Against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on. They said my team are not on nothing, and we just beat Real Madrid 3-0. It feels surreal. They talked on my manager. They talked on lewis-skelly. They said Saka's not on this and that, and we scored not one, not two, but 3 goals. And my central midfielder that costs 105 million, they're right. He don't pass forward. He just slaps it from far. You know where it is. What's it? Declan Rice from far, Marino from close. Real Madrid are on the ropes. Toast. We're killing their Champions League hopes. I can't lie. The only dampener is that it's Real Madrid, and they've never come back from 3-0, but we're going into the Lions then. We'll get into all of that. Smash the like button, people. I'm sure we're still on the high, and I have to say, nights like yesterday have to become the minimum. Granted, I don't expect us to do that against Real Madrid, but the fans, it looked like it's buzzing. The players stood up tall. They can't even run them nasty agendas. Yes, Real Madrid's domestic form has been terrible, and yes, on the same hand, they've still got that black magic that makes them do a madness. But, they're going to say and say, oh, it's not the best version of Real Madrid. It's this, that, and the other. The same people that gathered, every fan base that is not Arsenal, United, put their differences aside and united to think they were doing a generational hate along. And we put them in a spliff, really. They're going to say it's not the best Real Madrid side and it's this, that, and the other. Did you not see Magalhaes out there? Did you see Kai Havertz out there? Did you see several players that have been injured on the bench? We're killing Timber's ACL. There's a lot of fitness in the legs for all the players. Timber's not fully fit. Kivior's he's probably not even our third choice centre half. Saka isn't fully fit. And they sit here, even though Saka is pleasing on the eye, they sit there and have the utter nerve to talk absolute horseshit about Bukayo Saka. Not doing bad for a left back. Speaking of left backs, he might not even be a left back, but lewis-skelly. Saka isn't even fully fit. Won the fouls, put Alaba on toast, got the free kicks. Rice slapped it. Rice slapped 2 free kicks, and Roberto Carlos is in the building. And obviously, there was a lot of football royalty. You had Cesc Fabregas there, Carlos there, Henry there. The list probably goes on of all the celebs and all of that. And we put on an absolute show. That needs to become the minimum. And, we got a long way to go, man. It is only half time in the tie. We're going to get into all of that. If you get through Real Madrid, you should have a spring in your step and believe you can do things. But you've still got a lot of things to go. Now, I've watched the game again. The emotions have somewhat died down. In terms of, as much as I'm, the screamers from Rice and exciting, if we remove emotion, we have to chase the illusion of perfection. Credit to Real Madrid's Courtois, because if Courtois not in goal, I think we hit you for 7, just like PSV. But you see Mikel Merino's goal. They told me not to back Mikel Merino as well, by the way. You know what Mikel Merino does. Double M, and it's extra special because it's Real Madrid and it's Spain, and he's had a tough start to life at Arsenal, found a good patch of form in terms of scoring goals. And I just feel these last 3 games in particular, to be fair, I said it against Fulham, I did say it against Everton, and I have to say, the goals are one thing with Merino, but the performances that, football is a psychological factor. Belief is half the job. Now, a lot of Arsenal fans are going to do this. You got to believe. You isolated to Real Madrid, yes, but you need a lot more than belief at this football club or in football. But belief is half the job. I saw every individual player stand up to be counted, from the young lewis-skelly to the more experienced Martin Odegaard and things like that. I do feel, when you look at lewis-skelly's performance, look at Saka's performance, look at Mikel Merino, obviously bagging, Declan Rice scored 2 goals. There's a lot of performances that are going to go on under the radar. Now, I'm happy Raya weren't called into action too much and too tough. You have to big up Thomas Partey. And I have to ask that question. Do we need to, do the Destiny's Child thing? Can we keep the band together? Partey was superb. Kivior, a nervy minute, but you patterned up. Big performance. Martinelli, people do not talk shit about my Brazilian. I told you he's a big game player. He might not have scored or assisted, but anyone that watched that game knew we did what needed to be done. Now, going to Real Madrid's place at the Bernabeu, we probably will concede. We're playing against 13 players. We're playing against their fans. We're playing against their great players. We know the dodgy referee and stuff. Anyone that thinks we can just go there and defend is extremely naive. And I actually think subject to, well, going against public opinion, going to the Burnabout and being mad defensive would be idiotic from us. We have to approach that game in the same vein. The onus is on Real Madrid. Now, they're not going to panic and stuff, but they're going to have to come and attack us. Yes, they've got the quality to score 3 goals. I would say pass to Timber, big up Tim Beasy, big up Timber. Lewis-Skelly locking up Rodrigo, Timber locking up Vinicius, all of that stuff. It plays into our hands. We've got a decent lead. We have to keep our feet firmly on the ground, behave like we did in the first leg, ride the storm, which we're obviously going to, and which we did in the game against Real Madrid, and go and get a 4th goal. If I'm completely honest with you, they're going to have to attack us, really. We just need to keep being street smart. But I'm proud of my boys. I'm proud of the manager. I'm proud of all the players. And nights like that, that's probably the biggest European night in the Emirates Stadium. Nights like that have to become the minimum. We shouldn't be shocked with that. This club is way too beautiful and way too big, and too much money is being given to our manager. The club generates too much money. You lot are paying way too much in terms of, and myself, in terms of tickets, and I ain't got a season ticket, but season tickets and all of these things. We're a beautiful club, and it's about time this club remembers or is reminded on a consistent basis just how beautiful she is. And nights like that were absolutely amazing. And more than anything, I'm happy for the players because you earned that. You listen to what the manager told you all week. The manager can say one thing, individually you got with it. Now, if we strip the layers back and we chase the illusion of perfection, Declan Rice scored 2 screamers. And the one thing I'll give us credit, we smelt blood in that last half an hour. I think we deserved that. We deserved the performance. I think 0-0, obviously hindsight's a wonderful thing, but 0-0, it would have been all right, calm performance. Courtois probably would have got man of the match. We earned that. Maybe we could have ruled our luck. I love the screamers from Declan Rice, but Marino's goal is what we needed to have done throughout that 90 minutes. Saka should have 2-3 assists, and I don't want it to be like that, but that will be something. So we need to work on chance conversion. Obviously, you're going to, maybe not so much in a game like this, but obviously we started very well. We dominated proceedings. Real Madrid tactically have probably been the worst they've ever been. Big up Carlo, no disrespect, but we boxed cleverly, if I'm honest with you. There was a couple of nervy passes from several players. Kivio had a nervy moment. Saliba had a nervy moment. Saka had a nervy moment. This happens. This is football, but we got with it. So we can't really afford that at the Bernabeu. I do think we've got to score the more clear-cut chances, but other than that, probably our most complete performance of the season. And this is why I'm so critical on the club, because we've got it in us. We just need to do this on a more consistent basis. Do you know how cruel it is to forget? You can't forget the fans worldwide and the local fans and all of that, but imagine we have absolutely smashed Manchester City, the current Premier League holders. Yes, Liverpool are about to win it. We've just moved to Real Madrid and turned their white kits red, and there's a good chance, less of a chance, more of a chance, whatever, that we end the season trophyless. Again, I don't want that to be something. We need to set this in history. Look at fucking Miles Lewis-Skelly. I'm bored of speaking about that guy now. He's verified. He's going to have tough moments in his career, but look at him. 8-9 months as a professional footballer. Bullied Real Madrid. Bullied, scored on his debut for England. Haaland sent for him and he sent back. The media chatting shit about him. Doing what he needs to do. Whether he's going to be a midfielder or a left back, I don't care. What I know is Miles Lewis-Skelly needs a new contract. They're lucky we didn't bring on Wanyeri. New contract, new numbers, new everything. And you know one thing beyond the obvious, what I was happy about, and it's so irrelevant. Berta. He was about. Big up yourself, Eddie, because you did help us get Declan Rice. They said Declan Rice weren't worth the money. Declan Rice, I've seen you score a cracker against Chelsea, a cracker against West Ham, a cracker this season against Man United, but dramatic goals against Manchester United across the last 2 years for 2 seasons. The screamer against West Ham, but that's probably, of course, I'm probably exaggerating, but that's one of the best free kicks that will be scored in Champions League history. That's one of the best scored at the Emirates. I'm not going to lie. There was a certain goal that isn't Messi, but was compared to him that scored a mad free kick against Almunia. You couldn't do that against our Spanish goalie now. But Declan Rice, I think people need to big up Thomas Partey. I'm not going to lie. Rice is going to get the headlines. Everybody gets the headlines. And who really cares who gets the headlines? We shine together. Thomas Partey, big performance. Kivio, big performance. In a nice way, you weren't really tested. I love that. Bro, Timber has locked up Vinicius. Lewis-Skelly has locked up Rodrigo. Didn't see nothing for, Saka running rings around Alaba and Bellingham. Didn't see no. I love Valverde, but never saw nothing. Never saw nothing. The best players on the pitch for Real Madrid was that Asensio guy for one of his blocks and Courtois. The very fact that I am saying that tells us there's something, but we have to go beyond this. A broken clock's right twice a day. Today, well, yesterday was great. We need to move on. And to the haters, keep crying, man. Keep crying. Keep crying. And what I would say, not to put a dampener on this year, not to put a dampener on this, but I love social media. But I'm getting a bit of sick of comments like this, people. Like, what is all this about? Can you not see this? A man said, you spineless little rat. How about you back this team? If I ever see you at the Emirates, your boat is getting stomped out. Now, I'm not going to go into specifics, but bring it. I was at the Emirates versus Fulham. No doubt I'll be there again. You know what I look like. I don't know what you look like. So you're like, on brand with Real Madrid and Arsenal. You're technically would go into that 3-0. See me, put your work in. But we don't advocate violence. Just don't do nothing silly, Mr. Whatever. This is why I say the keyboard dons, you lot are scary, bro. You lot are, I'm so scared of you lot. I don't want no trouble. But yeah, moving back onto the game, we're doing what needs to be done, man. It's still not over. You might bottle the second leg. Less of that, less of that. Woos, I don't want your credit. I don't want your credit. Big up yourself, but I don't want your credit. Can someone get Vertical Horizon some tissues? Copium. Listen, the job is not done. Can I come to the parade? When is it? Well, to be fair, you know, can't imagine you've ever stepped foot in Liverpool, Marcel, mate. David Raya looked like a different beast as well. Few gifted opportunities for Mbappe and Vinny in the first half, and he stood fearless. That's true. It's the hope that kills us. Got a feeling it's going to go bad. Listen, at the end of the day, they've got to take it from our dead bodies. No two games are the same. Going to the Bernabeu is something. Real Madrid do have that, George. Obviously, they're still on course technically for a treble. They have to overcome the 3-0. Weirder things have happened. As much as Marcel pisses me off, you look at his club and you look at Real Madrid, these are possibilities. But if we just keep our feet on the ground, have the same approach, obviously, Arteta's probably seen things he'll change positively and negatively. I'd imagine Carlo the same, but in the premise of winning your individual battles, making sure individually you're prepared for it, reacting to any potential setbacks. That's all we can do. Approach the game how we did in the second leg, how we did in the first leg. I'm for that. And you don't know me. We're just fulfilling fixtures in the Premier League, right? We're just fulfilling them. I'm not fans of throwing away games and not playing and whatnot. And if you think Brentford are going to roll over, is what it is. Fans, we can still be excited. The players too. But today, that was yesterday. Today, the focus switch is on because we ain't won the champs. It is only the quarterfinals. It is only a great day. I'm not trying to water it down. But at this moment in time, on one hand, we pat ourselves on the back. But this is no different from when we've beaten Bayern Munich at our place. This is no different from Barcelona, Bayern Munich, them kind of games there. It's a good night at the Emirates. We've got to make that a minimum expectation, and we've got to get over the line, man. Like, I don't expect to keep a clean sheet in the second leg. You know they're going to get a penalty and whatnot, but we've shown that we've got it within us. We just need to keep going. And for the club, come on, man. Even with all, and I'm not making no excuses, but with all the positives and the negatives and the fact that we're still second and we're in the quarterfinals, like there is potential, but the potential has to be realized. Please just act in the market, just do little things. And I'm not even saying that guarantees us getting over the line, but it kind of does. Smash the like button, man. To be honest, the whole team deserve man of the match. Amen. We'll get into player ratings in a sec. Bend it like Declan. Declan twice. People are saying this is the greatest night in Arsenal's history. I wouldn't say greatest night, but in Europe, it's up there. This guy still ain't taking his shades off. Wow, these men are going to milk this win. Why for milking, man? Are you for or against Leao? Rafa Leao, love-hate relationship. I do think he's overrated. And what I mean by that, I don't mean that in a disingenuous way. I just think people, I'm not saying you, I think people that don't watch him on a regular basis have him at a level that he's not. I think he's got a great potential. I think he's a good player. And I feel, you see, if you were to type his name in YouTube and you see the goals and assists, if you can get that out of him on a more consistent basis, great. I think he plays too much on instinct. I mean, the man's a Bobby Dazzler, good dribbler, skills, goals, can do all of that, but he plays too emotional, needs to be a bit calculated, if I'm honest with you. Needs to. Style and profile type of day. Talk to us nice, bro. In Arsenal's dead this season with no striker, everything going mad, man, still slapping up Real Madrid. You can't talk, you talk to us nicely, and Real Madrid, allow us, Real Madrid, please. You won it 15 times, you'll win it again. You're going to get Saliba one day. Trent's, well, to be fair, you might have to think twice about signing Trent Alexander-Arnold, you know, because if we buck you next year and it's 3-0, and I think Martinelli had a good game, but hey, Trent, Because even though Martinelli's fallen off a cliff last 2 years, it's a given he turns up against that guy. Big up Terry, loose screw, man. And my screws loose after winning. Big up DG, impeccable performance as a team. We cannot go to Spain with any less energy and focus. Amen. And you realistically, obviously, Arteta, they deserve, you need to enjoy life. You've worked hard, you take a lot of shit. The boys and Mikel Arteta, whatever in it. But I'd imagine when the banter and all of that stopped in the changing rooms, Arteta said, yo, the job's not done. Even David Raya, I know to a degree, this is what footballers are going to say, but you'd be an idiot if you think that it's done. And it's not the same. But we've seen our team be 4-0 up in a Premier League game. How did it end? RIP Czech Tiote. So we can't get complacent. As I said, we just need to bob and weave. We just need to manage the game properly at the Bernabeu. Every minute that goes on, you know, Real Madrid are going to have to pour forward. And to a degree, we did see yesterday, again, on the topic of certain things to just be mindful of, you saw how even though Real Madrid, you know, a lot of Real Madrid people weren't necessarily happy. All of, you know, the conventional opinion, which I shared, is Real Madrid aura and all of that. They're not happy with a lot of individual performances. They're not happy with how they've been moving collectively. They're not happy with, quote unquote, Carlo Ancelotti's tactics, right? But again, in terms of a couple of occasions, sloppy balls, not scoring the simple goals, if I'm honest with you, like that we could. When we did give them, and it's to be expected, it's Real Madrid. They got Ballon d'Or contenders. I wouldn't know. I never saw Mbappe and Vinicius and Rodrigo and this one and that one and the third yesterday, but they do have that. How quickly they split defense and attack. Even in the first half, there was a couple of times Tim Beasley saved us. And that is, don't get it twisted, that is going to happen. But I have to stress, manage the game. We're walking into the Lions Den. Real Madrid were vexed going into it because of Valencia and their current form. They're going to be double vexed. They're probably seeing all the Arsenal stuff that's going on. You know, the very fact that Arsenal fans said, are you Tottenham in disguise? If they can understand English, boy, they're going to light us up. If I'm honest, it wouldn't surprise me if we go into it, dodgy penalty makes it 3-1 on aggregate, 1-0 on the night. They get a bit of magic from one of their players. It's 3-2. Ooh, we're a bit scared, and then we get a fourth. I think we need a fourth, if I'm honest with you. And I hope I don't look back at that first leg and thought, as I said, the more simple finishes. Because in the first half, I think we say it all the time, but you were thinking, what if we had a striker? There was a couple. Saka should have 2-3 assists. And anyone that talks crap about Saka or Lewis-Skelly, you're just liars, man. You're just liars. You can ask questions of Arteta, but you can't tell me he's not. And I've said this before, and this is what annoys me, yeah. Some people want me to be bare negative. Some people want me to be bare positive. Some people are happy just the way I am, yeah. But I've said this before. I think Mikel Arteta is a tactical genius. From a coaching perspective, I think there's a lot. You can ask questions about his inability so far to get over the line and all of that. But you hear the ex-footballers. I've asked me with my own two lips, pause, about Arteta. And he said it, like the system, all of that stuff is crazy. So it's there. It's just about getting over the line. I think the guy is a genius of a coach. I think he is a good coach. But I have to hold you to those standards. I think Carlo's a good coach. So if I was a Real Madrid fan, I'd be like, well, go on, what happened? I've seen you get over the line. It's just about going to the next level. I know the vast majority of our players are good, but we need performances like this on a regular basis. That same, the psychological stuff, more than anything. Yeah, I'm happy with the screamers and Saka doing well and Lewis-Skelly this and that. But the football is a psychological game, and when you play Liverpool and Real Madrid, and to be honest, there's still Barca, PSG, Inter look good. There's still bigger tests. It's them things that you need, and we need to keep doing that. And what I did see as well, obviously no two games are alike, but I saw a manager and a team that learned from the Bayern Munich game at the Emirates last year. It's not good enough just to be good. You've got to defend well, pull your punches, but you've got to smell blood. When you smell blood, fair enough. Crazy circumstances, you know. I'm still remembering in real time. Like, I didn't even process the first Declan Rice free kick, let alone the second. But it was that last half an hour that decided it. You look at Real Madrid, I hope not necessarily to us, but if you look at them throughout the time, definitely the last few years they've won the Champions League. Have they been the best team for 90 minutes or 180? Or has there been a 5-minute stage? The point of me saying that is to say this: you've got to take your chances when they're there. Anyhow, we win the Champions League with no striker and that, boy, uncomfortable agendas, man. You got to speak. I hate reactionary fans. I don't know who is being reactionary here, but fair enough, man. Big up Deluded in the chat. Yesterday's match made me have a complete different opinion about MLS, but he still has to be careful in a pressure situation. I disagree with the terminology. I do think Miles Lewis-Skelly can handle high pressurized situations. I think his mentality is superb. I think when you look at any footballer, man are playing for Arsenal Football Club. especially lewis-skelly with a target on his back, he could crumble. Of course, as not maybe yesterday, but he's not the finished article. There's little isms and schisms he can improve, especially with his body positioning defensively. But the positives outweigh the cons, and he's where he should be. In fact, he's ahead of where he should probably be at 18 years of age. You know, he's our first choice left back. Football is very reactionary, but we spent 40 odd million on Calafiori, and we had him all along. It's crazy, and it was lovely to see Tierney, man. And I would even say for Mikel Arteta, man, there's little things you could learn. Now, obviously, this is a romantic kind of game, but being devil's advocate, trusting a Tierney, trusting a Zinchenko at times in midfield when, you know, since there's been injuries, playing young players because he does do the seniority thing. It took a while for Wanyeri and lewis-skelly to get their chances. This season's a learning curve for everyone. I don't want it to keep being a learning curve because I think some of these, you know, I'll pick up you lot that was here earlier this morning. You know, Americans, I think if you don't pass a year, you repeat a year. It feels like that's the thing. We need to graduate now. We need to graduate. Lewis-Skelly, boss of a performance, bro. Like, yeah, you could talk about Real Madrid and all of that. End of the day, if he got cooked against Real Madrid, what would have been it? Oh, he's not ready and this, that, and the other. And to be fair with you, the game went beyond our wildest imaginations. But games like that, I'm sure there's little isms and schisms lewis-skelly can learn from and say, yeah, this is the level. Like this, because there is going to be that. Every good defender or good player has, or good young player, as they're learning, all of them, they've had those situations where they've been battered and bruised and ran ragged, and they probably finished the game and thought, rah, this is what it's about. Declan Rice, I can't remember the game, but he had an interview on, it's on Arsenal.com with Miles Lewis-Skelly, and he said for there was a game for West Ham. He started, he gave the ball away and on the halfway line, and the other team scored. He got hooked at halftime, and then he didn't get, you know, so he, like, that's in one game. He didn't get in the match day squad for the next game, and then he was back. This is what's going to happen. Unfortunately, this is, I think this is, and I've said this, it goes beyond Arsenal. One thing that pisses me off about football fans, yeah, is they'll see a young 16, 17, 18-year-old have a good game, go for a good patch of form. He's a good player. They say he can be Ballon d'Or contender and this and that and best and future captain and all of these connotations. But they just think because you was good today at 18, you wake up tomorrow and that's you. Trials and tribulations. It is what it is. It's like learning to park. It's like getting your driver's license. You know, any skilled driver had to stall the car and, you know, have to learn how to park and things like that. But Lewis-Skelly, and you saved us some peas. Give my man part if you leave. Part if you leave. Lewis-Skelly needs that number. Tierney, I say if, because come on, Arteta, just keep the boys together, man. Tierney can do a job. I think we need a left back. Tierney can stay, man. There's a job there, man. There's a job. Arteta, there's a job there. I hear you. You know more about football than me. Inverted fullbacks, this, that, and the third. Come on, man. Party and Tierney, we can keep the lads together. Of course, I know it's not going to happen. We've got Kai Havertz is on the wage bill. We've got Gabriel Jesus on the wage bill. You know, Tierney gets like 110 a week. Partey's on decent peas. If you bring in Gyökeres, he might not be the top earner, but he's going to need something decent. I would have loved for Magalhaes to have been there, but Magalhaes, Saliba, Saka, they're going to need new deals. There's a lot of things to be done, but I can't believe. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Catch. Fuck off, mate. Pardon my language. Fuck off, bro. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off, bro. This guy's been on to. I ain't even gonna play the video. This guy's been on to. This guy. You would think I'm not an Arsenal fan, you know. On to me. See these top gooners. They drink a little yak and they move mad. Now shout out, Catch, man. Monday, I know it's peak. Everybody's on me, you know. Everyone's on me. For what reason? I don't know. How much are MLS and Ethan on? I don't know, but I need to be hearing 50, 60, 70. If it was up to me. Fuck the wage structure, the P's. Yeah, and I think that's what goes against Partey. I don't want to speculate, but yeah. Thing with Tierney at Celtic, they played him as a winger majority of his time there, did they? So did we get the Rice apology already, or am I on time for the Valverde, Bellingham, Rice quotes DG made? Oh, but the thing is, you know, if you want me to say sorry, bad man don't apologize, but cool. But what I want to say is, yeah, if are we allowed a fair trial? Am I allowed a fair trial? If I'm allowed a fair trial and I'm in the magistrates, yeah, I'm allowed a fair trial. I have a right to that. When I say Declan Rice is world class, when I say he's the least of our problems, when I say I prefer him in the six naturally, but when I always say I think people do too much, he's still doing six stuff. He's still good. He's the least of our problems. He's a big game player. They're not saying that. It is a bit reactionary, bro. I still think Valverde's better than him, and I don't think that's a bad thing to say. I'm not gonna lie. And I went guilty for the Tchouaméni one. What else was there? Bellingham's a bad boy, bro. Bellingham is like, I still stand by that. What I said, Bellingham is a bad boy. I still have Bellingham and Valverde over Rice, and that's not a disrespect to Rice. I'll die for Rice. Exaggerating, but I'm trying to bust case here. Allow me. What more do you lot want? Smash the like button. I mean, boy, it's true. I genuinely thought I was dreaming. We can celebrate the win. Our next match is Brentford. Even though the Prem is done, that's the next match they got to concentrate on. And do you know what's so mad, yeah? We can only imagine, but this is why I waffled about, can the club just see if they do this and that and the third where we could go? Because could you imagine if the league was still all to play for? Like, mash up Real Madrid, you've got to go and get 3 points against Brentford. Liverpool got whoever. Could you imagine? Because that's the scenario we want to be in. In the same way when Arteta took over, and I would cast your mind back to the start of the 2022-23 season and all this phase stuff, the subsequent seasons, these are scenarios we wanted to be in, against Real Madrid, against this, against that. Imagine we had the squad. Imagine we had the Stardust. This is it. We're this close to having something magical, man. And the project really going bang, like the gaffer said. Smash the like button. DJ, when you deep it, Skelly probably looked up to Vinny and Mbappe 3 years ago on FIFA and saying to himself, rather this is the level and proper locked in. And that's what you got to do. You got to have nothing but respect. You know, you can get their shirts and that over the away from the game, and it's a bit like, it's not the same, but it's like me when, you know, I don't get many brand shoots, but you know, you wait for Arsenal, you wait for Arsenal. First time I went on AFTV, to be fair, Talk Sport, you look around and, like, if you use the footballing example with lewis-skelly, come out the academy for 2 minutes ago, and you've got World Cup winners, Ballon d'Or contenders, serial Champions League winners, all of them are out there, and you've got some people of similar experience to the Real Madrid players in our Arsenal team, and you've just come out the academy, right? Going back to, but you're there for a reason. It doesn't matter how you got there. You got there in it, like, you're in that room for a reason. Whether it's God, which you can't do nothing without God. Alhamdulillah for everything. You're in that room, and going back to the brand example I was giving, bro. I've sat there bare times. I'm like, right, this one has been on. This is that guy, and this is that one, and this one's this, and they don't necessarily look like me. They don't talk like me. They whatever you do, or I used to in the early days. You get a bit like, not overwhelmed, but you're like, ooh. Because naturally you are uncomfortable. You only grow in life when you're uncomfortable and you're in uncomfortable situations. But at some point you got to sit there and go, it is what it is. What I saw is players not feeling sorry for themselves. Kivio could have felt sorry for himself. Oh my God, I ain't played. I ain't got the fluidity. I know the gaffer don't rate me like that. I'm playing Real Madrid. I know how the fans behave. At some point he had to sit there and say, you know what, fuck it. And that's all I asked for going into this Madrid game. Don't let them come into our house and embarrass us. Compete. And we did all of that. If a mistake happens, keep going. And I saw that. How many times have we seen players throughout the years at this football club make mistakes, go into a shell? Minor mistakes that went unpunished today. We're just getting on with it. When the game was a bit end-to-end, we managed it. When the game, even, I would say Real Madrid's best periods were probably that weird little 5 to 10 minutes close into the half where they had us we weren't under pressure, but we was in our own half. We rid that. We started well. We managed the game well. And again, that's what I wanted to see, especially as the game went on, because it's easy to get up for Real Madrid. You know, you can do the kumbaya stuff. We're up for it. The atmosphere, electric, and we're going to be here at 2:30 with Zara and 4 p.m. with Kenny Ken and DJ B and Aaron. But it's easy for that. But you see, once you get past that and it's 10, 15 minutes into the game and, okay, it's literally just a football game now. Like, as all the context around it, but it's a football game now. That's where I looked at my boys and I'm like, oh, let's go. I think you will win the Champions League, not going to lie. Vertical horizon, what does that mean, though? What does winning the Champions League mean? I don't understand it, because there's many ways of winning the Champions League. You can obviously have the big ears and the pictures, but Arsenal had every reason to feel sorry for themselves going into the game yesterday, and they didn't. They put on their big boy boots and they got up and went again. And you could argue winning in life and winning the Champions League is just getting up out of bed, not turning on, not rolling back over, but getting up, turning that alarm on, and standing up too. So I don't understand the question. It's a very difficult question. You know, Arsenal, as well as many teams in this competition, have unique qualities. Now, we was given a 12, and I would say the good thing is, this is 9 times out of 10, you can see what's going on. But this is a game that showed football isn't won on paper, and it's not won based on opinions and etc. I thought they already won it, bro. Yeah, big Liverpool, about to win the Premier League, and Marcel just been here hating. You love us, really, Marcel, you know. You love us, innit? You never walk alone, settings. Come and join us, man. Saliba, it's wavy, it's all of that. Bring Trent with you. Big up Timber. But we might be able to be a bit cute and clever with the fitness of Calafiori and Timber and Lewis-Skelly. Bring Trent, bro. Trent and Saka is peak. You think Trent will look even better in an Arsenal system? 100% he does no defending. And I must admit, I was looking at Real Madrid yesterday and I was thinking, but I can see why they want Trent. Him in midfield might have unpicked a lock or two. DG with the politically correct answer. Bro, you got it, man. You got it, man. Ask me privately. Liverpool 7 times champions. CL about to win the Prem, but here is hating. Now, Marcel's just an idiot, man. He's here all the time, man. Big him up. He's a mod. Again, you can troll him back if he trolls, but respectful, man. I was seeing Bear suck your mum and all of this last night. I was thinking, what is going on here? Kivior was bossy out there. Mega improvement to where he failed against Bayern. And to me, that is winning the Champions League. Kivior has unique qualities. Before the game, obviously, like, man, and I feel obviously it was a good day for the more balanced and positive Arsenal fans. But one thing I hate is when things are going negative, all man want to do is, oh, I told you so. Now that Arsenal have won 3-0 and and all them buzzwords about believe, rather than just be happy about the club and the manager and what we could do and being able to dream and now, oh, I told you, you see how both sides are like that. But big up Kivior. Big up Kivior. Because for me, obviously, I understand the fitness element, and I do think one thing that I liked with Mikel Arteta yesterday is sometimes throughout Mikel Arteta's time here, we could have one injury or one problem, and through trying to solve that one problem, we indirectly create 3-4 other problems, if that makes sense. Like, for example, if Kivior doesn't play and you move Timber, and let's just, it's a very exaggerated one, but let's just say Timber's on the bench, he moves Kivior doesn't play, he's on the bench, he moves Timber to centre half, Partey obviously comes right back, midfield, that's different. And do you know what the maddest thing is? I was saying bring on Jorginho, you know, because I felt there was a moment in that game towards the end where I just wanted us just manage the game. We've got Saliba signed the deal, man. Saka signed it, bro. I refuse, as much as I'm critical about this team, and I've said it before, our biggest enemies are ourselves. How many times have I said, just because you can be unhappy about Mikel Arteta, you can question, because he ain't won the Prem or whatever, you can ask and say he's a good manager, can he get over the line? We're so close. We've got something here. We don't need to behave like we're 14th like certain man, and we went out in the league stage like certain man. There's something here. And as much as I believe Mikel Arteta has consistently given belief to these players, because win, lose or draw, you cannot tell me you've ever seen my players in the last few years down tools. The minute I see people down tools and hiding, you probably have to look at the manager beyond the obvious reasons as to why you should praise or whatever. By the end of the day, they got to go out there. Arteta can make Kivior feel like he's the best thing since sliced bread. His wife could tell him, babes, it's going to be all right. But he's got to go out there and do it. And he did it. He's, you know, how many times, like, we've seen Kivior kebabbed a lot more than we've seen him have good games. To say he done that against Real Madrid, give him confidence, man, and keep going. And now you look at Brentford, the issue is around the injuries. Who the hell plays? Because it's all fun and games saying rest players and all of that, but do we even have a squad? Raya has to stay in goal. I'm not on the Neto thing, admittedly. I would say, what, off the top of my head right now, he ain't going to make widespread changes, but I would say, I might have said something similar or different last night, early morning. Smash the like button and subscribe, people. We're here. Raya in goal. Ben White right back. Tierney left back. And obviously, man can come off the bench, but Tierney left back. Ben White right back. Raya in goal. Kivior's going to have to play. Saliba has to play, but like, be a bit cute and clever. Can we... I don't know. Is there a scope to give people 60 odd minutes or something and take them off and all of that kind of jazz? In midfield, Rice has to play. Rice, you can do that. I would save Partey's legs, because I think Partey and Rice complemented each other so much yesterday. I think when Rice has obviously scored 2 screamers, that's it. But if you look across 90 minutes, you could argue Partey was just as good, if not better, than Declan Rice, minus that. But I think Rice is obviously a bit more durable. I know Rice, Timber, Saka, there was moments where like, oh, are we here again? But for me, I'd go Jorginho. Martin Odegaard would probably play, and he did start on the bench against Everton. But I'd play Jorginho. You know what? Fuck it. Tierney, man, definitely not Tierney in midfield. Zinchenko in midfield. Put Trossard in the 10. Wanyeri on the right. Sterling and Martinelli just make up the difference, and then, you know, we play it by ear in that regards. You know, Arteta, it could be a great week if you put a couple of Haylenders on the bench as well. Big up Arthur, because you're always here. Arteta instilled confidence and belief in these players. His greatest strength is that individual man management, and it paid off. We just don't see it enough. We're not flies on the wall, unfortunately, but you're right, man. So, yeah, I'd love to. If you beat Real Madrid, like, we were given a 12% chance. I'm pretty sure if I go and look at them statistics now, we are probably one of the favorites. And don't get twisted. You dump out Real Madrid, you should have some confidence. It should. But for me, I would just see that as, okay, to be the best, you got to beat the best. We can get something from this. We've shown that we can compete. Real Madrid becomes irrelevant. You've still, I don't know who's going in and out. I'd rather play Aston Villa, I know, but you've still got PSG and what they're doing with Enrique. And we speak about siege mentality. I'm telling you, them man got that as well. Go watch them little documentaries. And Enrique, if we don't win it, it'd be nice for him, man. When you see how he lost his daughter and all those kind of things, man, like there is kind of that. So you still got PSG. And I'd be, as stupid and mad as this sounds, I'd be a lot more confident in playing PSG if they still had like the era of Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. There are a bunch of individuals. Obviously, there's a trade-off. They've lost that kind of level of quality. Still got quality, but lost that level of quality. And they've still got, like, they're more of a tactically sound side. And you saw what they did against Liverpool. You still got PSG. You still got Villa. Dortmund, I don't give you a snowball's chance, but people wouldn't have given Arsenal a snowball's chance. We still got Dortmund. Hansi Flick, they're doing well. And again, Inter Milan and Bayern. I think Inter, I can't be sure on Inter, but I'm sure Inter Milan technically, Barcelona and Real Madrid technically, and Real Madrid obviously have to overcome the deficit. By God's grace, that doesn't. They're still chasing trebles. Now, the one team I don't want to play, admittedly, is Inter. I know we played them in the League Cup. I just like, because I keep saying it, like, obviously Arsenal was on here and to the left Bayern, and I wouldn't want to play Bayern anyways, but I'd rather play Bayern than Inter. I think I just don't think anyone wants to play Inter, man. Like they can defend like us. They got individual quality. They're probably one of the only teams in Europe still, quote unquote, playing with two strikers. Their first goal was absolutely amazing, man. But again, we're in the Champions League, so you could caveat what I just said with fuck it, playing you have to play anyone, bro. Yes, DG, big win for you, man. Do you still rate Mbappe? Yeah, I still rate Mbappe. I see Bayern Arsenal final. Isn't it in Bayern's backyard? And the dark arts. But everyone's going to have that. Inter will win, mark my words. Well-drilled side. They have everything, including an elite manager. Inter are nasty. We need to put the nail in the coffin next week. I'm more wanting to play PSG over Villa. I'd rather play Villa, man. I hear it. I know. Emirates, English side. I know. I'm not saying it's wrong, but boy, see, it's in Munich. And the last time, well, do you know what? Let's play Bayern in the final. The last time they had a final in their backyard, what happened? And like, I was thinking this yesterday. Like, you look at the right wing, I think the right wing position where you look at top quality players. We're not gonna get into who's best and who's not and all of that kind of jazz. But when you look at the best, like the player for player, I think right wing is in a really good moment in football, man. Like you've got Mohamed Salah, you've got Elise, you've got Yalmao, you've got who else is there? You've got Bukayo Saka, you've got Wanyeri. There's therefore one person I've missed out there. Predicted lineup for the weekend, man. I think I gave mine, but I'm gonna go again. Raya, Kivio, Saliba, Ben White, Tierney. For me, Jorginho, Zinchenko, Trossard, Wanyeri, Sterling, Martinelli. But that being said, if I had to guess, I do expect Rice to start. I do expect Odegaard to start. I do expect Marino to start. I do expect Lewis-Skelly to start. I don't expect Timber to start. Dembele as well. How could I forget Dembele? Rodrigo as well. Obviously, Rodrigo, you don't get the propaganda that your more elegant teammates get. Admittedly, though, I think Rodrigo's a 10. You know, I promise you, if he goes somewhere and be a 10. And big up Andy Bassett, obviously, very well respected person in football, and he was speaking about like Vinicius and stuff like that, and you can go watch them sentiments, but at some point surely Madrid and Mbappe, Vinicius, yeah, they can coexist, but surely some point things have got to change, and it is a bit irrelevant as well. And I know it's a team game and stuff, but you look at the Ballon d'Or, if God forbid, but if Real Madrid win the Champions League, or at some point with them too, if they win the Champions League and both star, who are they going to back more, Vinicius or Mbappe? Or Mbappe? Because we all saw the song and dance they did about Vinicius not winning the Ballon d'Or. Sorry, Mbappe. That's clearly some sort of indirect goal. Who are they going to back? Bearing in mind they're trying to give Vinicius a new deal. Vinicius might even get fed up of the racism. There's obviously eye-watering figures being thrown at you in Saudi. If you became available, anyone that's got the financial capabilities in Europe is going to be thrown in there. And again, a bit like how, going back to the PSG example, obviously you can never have too many stars. Real Madrid are that in it, and you lose it. But for the greater good of the team, if you've got one of Vinicius and Mbappe and the others kind of quote unquote coexisting, there you have it. Ballon d'Or. Team performance, but without a shadow of doubt, Rice was the man of the match. French football will back their boy Mbappe. Yeah, but purely Real Madrid. But to be fair, there's bare Frenchmen in Real Madrid. Of all the years getting beaten by Bayern and Barca, a lot of these fans don't remember the nightmares. We need this more than anything else now. Not enough hey lenders, DG. I don't think he's going to randomly start the kids, man. Thoughts on Rafa Leao links? I don't take heed in the Rafa Leao. Rafa Leao just someone to easily link with Premier League clubs, if I'm honest with you. Like, they're just some man that's a given, if I'm honest. Like how Man United will always link with Benzema. They're just certain players that are always thrown in certain things. This game changed nothing. If we drop, I still think Arteta should move on. And that's Arteta just needs to get over the line. Because I rate you, I think it's a fair question. Why haven't you got over the line? Like, you mash up Carlo, you've mashed up Pep. I'm not saying we're the best team in Europe and that, but the way he coaches and stuff inside the inner circles of football, like the other side, they clearly rate him. The players speak. So can we get over the line as a club? I do think too much excuses is made for us as a football club. And when we win, everyone wants to waffle. For me, you keep them that same energy. It is, man. But you know what? In my lifetime, Ballon d'Or's always been, it's only been in my adult life that, and I think it's mainly because of Messi and Ronaldo that there's more stock taken into it. I never took it in when Nedved and Cannavaro won. People probably older than me remember when Ballon d'Or weren't really nothing, really. Man weren't using the fact that a man's won Ballon d'Or to say you're the best ever. It's become a kind of vanity project. And I be honest, I think it's a political game. I'm not saying Rodri didn't deserve it or Vinicius didn't, but I think that is a political game. I think the Messi Ronaldo one, even down to the voting, I think some man, there's all vested interests. So it's a weird one, man. It is a weird one. We should be shook for the second leg. Fear keeps us alive. Only the paranoid survive. You should fear people. But if they bleed just like us, don't fear them. Go out there. I tried to tell, man. They've got Mbappe. We've got Mikel Merino. They didn't believe us. Pray for Madrid. Did we really do that yesterday? And we did. The footballing world better make sure we don't win the champs, especially with everything. I've got the nastiest of agendas. No striker. I've got, there's so many agendas I've got, man. No matter what happens, that one result for the history books, our defense was brilliant as a unit, and our forwards caused mayhem. Over the moon, onwards and upwards. Last sentence there, onwards and upwards, Stu. I always see you in the comments. Large up yourself. Sterling hat-trick at the Bernabeu. Can we be honest? Them man are lucky. Kai Havertz weren't there. He definitely would have scored. It would have come off his shin, but he would have bagged. Magalhaes. Gabriel Jesus, you can say what you want. You remember the Champions League game last season. Big up Bron, top Gooners and power bottom Gooners unite. Everyone should be everybody should be a top Gooner, man. I'm a logical top Gooner. I love it. Like this, for me, it's football. I will be as critical on my team as I need to be. But beyond that, fuck it. And I think anyone that's like Marcel can back me up. I will say all the reasons I feel positive or negative and the inner workings and that. But regardless of that, fuck it, back the boys. Let's go in it. We win. We lose. We lick our wounds. We keep going. I think there's too much. You have to be bare positive for no reason. You have to be bare negative for no reason. I think life is in the middle. That's just how I am as a person. There's been times in my life, and maybe I'm paranoid, where everything's been going well. Everything's been going well. And I've kept my head firm because, because if you know how complacency and being at the top or when you feel like your life's going well, that's when you need to have even more consistency and tenacity. And likewise, many a time, even now to a degree, life's been shit, but you've got to think of that one reason to remain positive, or the reasons to be positive. Or life might be shit, you might be homeless, you might be this, you might be that, but you still got breath. And if there's a will, there's a way, as cliche as it sounds, man. That's just how I am. But one thing I've realized is, for me, I learned this early in my YouTube career. I don't know about no one else, but anything I've said, rightly or wrongly, I've believed it. I know football, you can't change opinions and this and that, but I've believed it. And it's always come from a place of love about my football club. I believe this is a family. Why would I not have proper internal talks with my family? Why would I behave like everything's amazing? If everything is amazing, I'll tell you it's all amazing. If everything's negative, I'll tell you everything's negative. Because we all know, God forbid, if it goes left against Real Madrid, or we go through against Real Madrid and we don't win a trophy, everybody's waxing lyrical. a lot of people, there's been times this season where, yes, there's been issues in games, but for most fans, they don't care. It's just winning or losing. The more negative fans, they've had to shut up. The minute we took an L, they're back. And likewise, things have been negative. The positive ones went into hiding. We win a game. It's again. And that's what I feel at Arsenal. It's a mixed bag. There's highs and lows in the season. Ultimately, unfortunately, it's very lazy. But it just remember from the league where you start, where you finish. In the cups, where you start and where you finish. The devil's in the details. I always say there's times you get what you deserve. Like yesterday, we played. Well, when Rice hits a free kick like that. Wait. Declan Rice, off topic, bro. When you start doing them things there, big up Martin Odegaard. But Martin Odegaard, that's captaincy bias. I don't want to see you take free kicks again unless you want to do something like that. But yesterday was on brand. There's football games you play well and you get what you deserve, and you earn your own luck. You earn it. We earn that magical kind of thing. Sometimes you lose when you've been playing well. Sometimes you win when you've been shit. Sometimes you draw when you deserve a bit more or less. That's football. I always say I don't tell you what to think, just think. I watch every game 90 minutes twice, not because I care about that. It's because I love Arsenal for one. I like to see the tactical things for two. And three, you'll see different things. And this is why I always ask you lot what you lot think. This is why, yeah, because I see it all the time. If I do shows with, and big up every name that I'm about to say, because for me, I don't care if you're positive, negative, as long as you can articulate yourself and that's your truth, you do what you need to do. But if I have like a gal or Alex or Babs, man, start saying, oh, you just want to be around the more positive ones, man. If I bring Lee and all of these one, Dan, Big Troops, oh, you just want to be around the negatives, man. The truth's in the middle. I might not necessarily agree with everything Babs or Lee says, for example, but they might say something. I'm like, there might be something there. I always say I don't tell you what to think, just think. And I think too much people want to be writing that DG talks like Chris Eubank on TalkSport. Arthur, what are you saying there? I talk the same. Like, what are you saying there? Is it a colour thing? Is he the only one that can be articulate? There's nothing about Arsenal to love. I'm just supporting the channel. Big up yourself, man. Marcel's a good one, man. Marcel, just let us have our day in it. Have you even slept properly? When did I get to sleep? When did we start the stream yesterday? Like 11:30, 11:15, 11:30. I want to say 11:30. I definitely weren't here on time. 1 second, people. Oh, Lord. I can see the biggest of these. Let me close my window. You're going mad. I don't want to get stung. But it's a good question. Maybe like 3:45, you know? Maybe like 3:45. Back up again. I had a little line, 7:45. Had a little line. We're back now, man. And we're here at 4 p.m. 2:30. I'm lying to you. 2:30, 4 p.m. 7:50, 10 minutes before the game kicks off. PSG versus Villa. Man, it's a bit of a scary thing. Skelly still has to prove himself at the Bernabeu. He ain't going to experience pressure like that at Madrid. Home ever in his career. It won't be the same as last night, but he definitely replicate. And the one thing, obviously, lewis-skelly and Saka are very different. The only consistencies is that they're from Haaland. They've started their careers in this Arsenal team at left back, and obviously that, right? But there's one thing I like from lewis-skelly beyond the obvious that I like from Saka. They're clearly coachable and intelligent, but they're not phased. They're not excited. They're not scared. Or if they are, they do a good way of just being balanced in it, because that's it. At the end of the day, whether you're a young player, you can train as much as you want. Are you ever prepared for anything in life? No matter how much you've trained for stuff, it's like a test. No matter how much you revise and whatnot, are you ever really, truly ready? And anything that's groundbreaking or that's going to change your life or change your destiny or get you somewhere, it's indirectly going to be outside of your comfort zone, right? One thing I have all the confidence in Skelly is, one, the learning curve so far in his Arsenal career probably happened Newcastle away in the League Cup, where everyone was poor defensively. Couple of isms and schisms in certain games. I would actually say one of the first games he played, was it Bolton or Preston? He got caught on the transition and whatnot. There was a game for Arsenal's youngsters where he was playing in the six. I can't remember the game, man, but I did a review on it. It was dilly-dallying on the ball. Dilly-dally. This is at academy level. Obviously, you're going to get caught on the ball. It still happens. The Luka Modric, all these guys have made glaring errors throughout their time, as good as they are. He got caught on the ball, and I see him learn. But he takes everything in his stride. You've made your England debut. You've played against City. You've played away from City. Come on, and all of that kind of stuff. You've gone from being like a young man, Haaland's getting onto you and that. I think he's got the mentality. Like, I think he's got that. So you can never diss the Bernabeu and Real Madrid and that. But, and of course, there's still that test. But I've got all the confidence in him. Let's be real. For the last few games, or well, the whole season, really, we all know the players that, tonight, last night, everybody did their thing. But we all know we can count on one hand the players we truly, truly believe in mentally are going to be with it. For me, it's going to typically be the majority of our defenders. It's going to be whether mistakes happen or not. I've seen Raya at Old Trafford react to a mistake. I would say, and I'm not saying everyone hasn't got this, but just for me, I think Timber just reads his Bible and then locks up people. I think Timber. I think Gabriel Magalhaes. I think Saliba. Even though Saliba's, I'll be watching Saliba at the Bernabeu very closely because I do think he's shown nerves at times. But generally, Saliba, young lewis-skelly, obviously Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice, Partey to a degree. Ben White, you don't watch football, he's just a shithouser. Big him up. Unpopular opinion in terms of that kind of stuff, I'd say Kai Havertz. And confidence does things. Mourinho came into this in his best form thinking, yeah, I've been playing up front, but they've allowed me now. I'm doing my thing. Confidence and psychological factors play a lot in the part of football. And I think obviously a reason, big up yourself, man, with Saka, the Saka comment. I think a big reason as to why football fans don't look at that stuff is because obviously it sounds dumb, but man, forget these guys are human. You know, we don't know who's an extrovert, who's an introvert, who on the face of it, when we're watching a game of football, is one of the loudest on the pitch, but it's quite quiet off it, and vice versa. We don't know that. We're not exposed to that. Maybe with interviews and that, but that is that, really. There's all those kind of things. Arteta is coaching the ish out of these players, give that man his respect. I think I'll be real, I think Arteta is getting 98% out of the team. 99.9%. I would say the other thing is getting all I think he needs to evolve his own tactics, especially in the attacking stage, and then piggybanking off that. I do think it's getting to that stage. It has overly got to that stage now where it's about quality and quantity. They overlap. You can't just, because there's a reality, we sign 6 or 7 players, but they're all shit. We need quality, but clearly we need numbers, because as much as it's romantic, Timber's played a shit amount of football. Saka isn't fully fit coming into this game. And granted, at this point in the season, you're never going to be. And there's several players in it. Like Kivior did well, but if Kivior got ripped, what would people have said? Oh, he should have played Ben White. Maybe put Rice there. He's not good enough. Hey, look at Catch, man. The man said negative. I can't believe he's left. Whoa. Nah, DG. At our worst season, the most teams put past us is 2-0. I think we go to the Bernabeu and slap them. I just think we get one more goal and I'm calm. Like it says here, one more goal for peace of mind. Arteta said he spoke to Pep before the game for advice. Fair enough, man. If Pep ever wants to come over to these sides, he can always let us know. I mean, it'd be silly not to, innit? Really, because he played them. Like Arteta said that, but do we really think all these managers are not talking? Quote unquote. It's not the same, but it's like YouTubers. I might support Arsenal, but I might ask transfer advice. Why am man talking like Madrid are still in this? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's only half time in the fixture. Tranquillo, relax. We have to earn the right to play. 0-0, boys. And there was a comment. Hey, whoever commented it, you're lucky I can't find your name and whatever. I don't remember if it was Twitter or YouTube. Someone was like, and the game's the game, innit? By all means, you could have laughed at me. They were like, oh, I can't wait for Arsenal to be 3 goals down and DG screaming 0-0. Wait, see, my God, you can't tell me God's not real, you know. DG, man, I'm not talking about that Partey cameo. It's not cool to praise Partey. And I find the Partey rhetoric weird because he's not getting enough flowers. But when he stinks up the place, there's bare aggression. And sometimes there's been games where I don't think, and everyone's allowed an opinion, I don't think he's been that mad or that bad, and people draw him out like Catch. Because Catch will be like, oh, you didn't believe you was going to win and do this. He was dissing Mikel Merino. He was dissing Martinelli. He was dissing several. But you see me, we're a family. I'm not going to do that to my brother. I'm not going to do that. Those who know better do better. Catch, you're not getting the link, so don't think you're joining me because I don't want to hear. I actually don't want to hear it from you today, but big him up. Does Rice get into your combined 11 now? Nah. Hey, Marcel sending paragraphs. We've won. For your information, I've been to Anfield. You mug. You local fans think people who live overseas can't go to games. Marcel, don't do that. Come on, it's just a bit of banter. You know, I stood up for foreign fans. I stood up for fans what was it yesterday? Someone was getting onto fans for just becoming a football fan today and whatnot. Big up the Virginia Gooners, America in the building. I hope. Is that America? I hope it is. Love your vibes today, bro. I said it. Partey was needed. Big up yourself. But then I have to ask that question. Do you give Partey a new deal? We're probably all leaning towards yes, innit, right? And no disrespect to him. He probably deserves that. But what if he reverts back to type next season? It's just annoying that it's one of those ones where you're playing out your skin, but you're in your last year of your deal, man. I literally told Madrid are crap this season. Madrid have been crap by their own standards, but it's still that Madrid judge, and that's still it's fading a bit, but there's still a bit of that going into the second leg. 7:45 a.m. Big up you lot, man. Got me on in the morning as you lot get ready. Galley viewers, make sure you're doing that as well. United got Europa to worry about tomorrow. That's all United do. United fans do is focus on Arsenal. Half of them fucking live in London. Can't blame them. Can't blame them. I'd rather, if an English team has to win the Europa for obvious reasons, I would rather Man United than the Spuds. Could you imagine a reality? And I only hope it's for Arsenal, but Arsenal win the champs. United/Spuds, which I would more hope United win the Europa. Man are not rating the Conference League, but we're going to get on to Chelsea if they don't win that. So imagine they win it and 3 British clubs hold it. Crazy. Madrid are known for comebacks, bro. That's the thing where if it weren't Madrid, if it was Bayern or PSG, I would have been, yeah, time's over, and all of that. But we need to keep going. You can see why it's called the Octopus. How do you think Odegaard played yesterday? I thought it was poor. I think people were doing too much. I don't think he was amazing. I think he was pissing me off, and lewis-skelly actually with a couple of the silly little skills. But I think he did well. I'm not gonna lie. I think the first half, or the first half of the first half, maybe it was planned. Maybe it's just one of those things. But we was heavy down that left hand side. Lewis-skelly and Martinelli heavy, and then there was a point. I think I even said it on Talksport. I'm cool with the performance, but what's going on with the right-hand side? Timber's over there. Timber, obviously, Camavinga should have been given a yellow early doors when he bear hugged him. But thinking, what's going on with the right? And then, like, in the first half, or the second half of the first half, if that makes sense, it's like Saka and Odegaard started cooking. He does too much at times. Just keep it simple. I hear it, man. And I mean, you know what? We're talking into existence. Odegaard at the Bernabeu, returning 10 years, made his debut at 16, returning as 26. I think Ceballos will score against us. So I think football's a bit fixed. I did see the hand motions. I think it was a better performance from Odegaard, but I think Odegaard's thing is more, he's in line with the, like, if it makes sense, he's more in line with it was a great team performance type of thing. You weren't really like, yeah, Saka, a half fit Saka. They said Saka is a left back. We've got a half fit left back playing as our right winger. And look what he did to Alaba. Arsenal were disrespectful. I don't think we're a classy club. You can't score them 2 free kicks when Roberto Carlos is there. You can't do that against Alaba. You can't. It's very disrespectful. But yeah, man, I think Odegaard's thing is more, you had a great performance. I think everybody did. But if I had to hail up people, I think lewis-skelly was more prominent. Tim Beasy was more prominent. Naturally, we're going to look at our defenders in them games there against whoever we're playing. I think our 2 centre-halves. I'm not going to lie. Is it far-fetched for me to say Kivio was better than Saliba? Because I saw a couple of shaky moments from both of them, but there was that. I think Partey was superb. I think Partey's performance across the 90 minutes minus the goals were better than Rice's, but I think Rice was up there. The 2 centre mids stood up to be counted. Saka obviously did what needed to be done. Trossard in his little cameo did his thing. Mikel Merino did what needed to be done. Tini weren't on the pitch that long, but I think he did his thing. Odegaard, Timber is a phenom, bro. His body needs to be studied. Pause. Yeah, I'm going to stick to the football, but I'll let you do that, man. Bro, lewis-skelly's not making man playing well under pressure. Lewis-skelly assists as well. Marino, that's the only thing. I just would have loved to have seen more goals. More goals. Big up Marlowe, man. Arteta masterclass. And that's the thing. But obviously, Real Madrid is a madness, but we've come to expect we're on the big games. I don't think we embarrassed. We went out, but we didn't get ripped against Bayern Munich. We shot ourselves in the foot. We've been good against the top 6. It's more the little games that kind of sum things up. And as I said at the beginning, it's easy to be up for Madrid. If you go, well, to be fair, it's easy to get up for the rest of the champs, but we need to have that mentality. Are you going to be playing to that intensity if we have a 2-legged tie against Aston Villa? I'm saying Aston Villa, I need PSG to go out, man. Odegaard did a back heel and Arteta wasn't having it. Probably was vexed. He was vexed. I love Odegaard, but we need more, man. Not necessarily isolated to yesterday, but yeah. Camavinga doing the Xhaka impersonation at the end. Did you see the Spanish Dave's head loss? Hey, big up, Dave. Yeah, I did. Partey, dear Lord, that was massive, high quality and dominant. You can see that's probably why Arteta persists with him, because other players, yeah, probably would have, with all the injuries and all the baggage, probably would have just said, fuck it. Camavinga out next game is huge. It's true. Am I wrong for saying I think Jude Bellingham should be? I'm sure Jude Bellingham was 1 yellow away from a suspension. And that's actually the bigger positive as well. Timber, Rice, Martinelli, none of them got fingied. Courtois was an octopus. Courtois, best player on the pitch for Real Madrid, in which, if we're saying that, and Courtois is obviously a top-class keeper, arguably the best in the world, his CV and what he's done in the game's great, but they've got Courtois and they've got this and that and the third. If we're really, it was Arsenal versus Courtois. We did not play Real Madrid. I need to see that away from home, though. And big up the fans, though, because I do think the players fed off the energy levels and whatnot. Yes, DG, would you get Saliba into the office as soon as possible? What are you gonna go to these scrubs for? Sign the thing today, bro. Regardless of how the Madrid game played out, Saliba needs to sign that deal. The way Partey controls play, never rushes, always reliable in the press. And that's the thing. Like, yeah, I don't really want to talk on, smash the like button. How have we not got 100? I don't want to talk on Zubimendi because you're not an Arsenal player, but I just feel, and he's obviously a good player, but I just feel Partey is like a unicorn of a midfielder because he can do a bit. Maybe he can't dictate a game to the level of Jorginho, and he's not as all action and up and down the pitch and durable as Declan Rice. But in terms of everyone, he's Rice is obviously doing his thing, but he's like a unicorn. I can see why we persist with him. Like, I could see why, despite the obvious. Need to re-sign him. Honestly, if we and Madrid scored all our chances, it would have ended 6-2. This period is a blessing for Kivior. He needed the consistent playing time to get his rhythm going. Feels like the season's on repeat in that regards, man. When Kivior miskicked the ball in the first minute, I thought it was going to be a long day. Happy we got them nerves out early doors. And to be fair, he's not alone. Saka gave away one stupid ball, if I'm honest with you, first 5 minutes. Saliba as well. And obviously, I don't want no one to make a mistake, but in particular, the Declan Rices, the Salibas, the Sakas, the Magalhaes, because we know the agendas that's going to happen. Courtois was too good and still held free. It's crazy. And even that, Courtois should be vexed with his teammates because he's taking two fucking... The wall was rubbish. And I'd implore you all to watch Arsenal's players in the build-up to Rice scoring and also what they were doing with the wall. But it's taking two... Rice ain't going to score 2 better goals than that in his career. Well, I hope I'm wrong because, you know, can you do that again against Madrid? But it's taken 2 worldies. It's taken 2 worldies. You do feel if we just scored those tap-ins, where it would have been, man. A fair few of Odegaard's passes to Saka were dodgy, unrealistic through balls when Saka was locked off. He needs to do a bit more, man. He needs to do a bit more. He needs to do a bit more. But we won, man. We have to enjoy the moment. But that was the enjoyment was yesterday. It's now time to move. Odegaard's right side bias pees me off. Is he not allowed to roam? Since when does a creator in the middle of the pitch have to stay in the right side? Does he need Saka that much? To be fair, do you want him roaming against Madrid? Partey needs to be kept to transition whoever we pay to replace him. The role is very strategic. I hear that. Timber held it down. He always holds it down, man. Quality player in the making. Already is. Yo, deluded. I was so happy yesterday. Arsenal performing like that might make me F around and have a kid. I want that as well. I need my very own lewis-skelly, man. Partey should still be a part of the squad. Give him a new deal, but we slowly fade him out, hopefully with Zubimendi signing. I must admit, maybe not the right name, but if you go back to not last summer, the summer before, which in hindsight, we did kind of sign 2 centre midfielders, in it. Like Kai was playing there. And then you obviously had Rice. But I wanted Lavia because I saw that as the younger Partey model. And I know it's easier said than done, but I do feel us as a club, we kick a problem up the road. Like we're not only talking about replacing Partey because we've tried to find Zubimendi, and we'd be naive to assume the club is not aware of this, innit? But to an ignorant fan, it just feels like with Partey's form, with his age, with maybe the off-field stuff, with the contract, it feels like now we're replacing him. We never get the young protege. Like we never have the replacement for the man that needs replacing while they're still here type of thing, if that makes sense. Give him a 1-year option. But if you're Partey, do you want that? Because, yeah, you stay for another year. You can F off to Saudi, you link with Barca and all those things. Or do you want to push for some security? If you're happy in London and all that jazz, I don't know. 1-year extension should be given. And also, you got to remember the wages, man. Do Arsenal want to pay those wages for another year? I'm not sure. Or do they say, do you know what, for better or worse, especially if we win the champs, Partey's on 200 odd grand, Jorginho's on, and we're losing a lot of experience as well. Partey's on X amount, Jorginho's on X amount, Tini's on X amount. They're immediately off the wage bill. We can talk about Trossard with a year left, more so Zinchenko and this one and that one, but it's not guaranteed they're going to leave. So who knows? Bounce around, man. Arsenal fans, bounce around. Make sure you're harassing your non-Arsenal supporting friends, families. Let everyone have it, because they're always keen to talk about. No one wants to talk about Arsenal when we win, but everyone wants to. If we lost, we all know the buzzwords. Is Mikel Arteta the man to get over the line? Sack him. Are these players big-time Charlies? Why are they always nearly men? What they need to do in the market? How big of a job does Andrea Berta have? Like, if I wasn't an Arsenal fan, I'd be a journalist, because it's so easy. Do you know how many drafts people had to delete off social media? Do you know how many makeshift articles had to be deleted? And I know there's an agenda, because what was it Bournemouth, where Reece Nelson scored the winner? One of them games, yeah. It was about to be a negative result, and I think BBC or whatever, one of the journalists on behalf of the BBC already published his article. I don't know why he thought he could predict the future. You can't call a man duppy until he's dead. I tip my hat to Unk. He played well. Partey's been outstanding the last few games. He's one of our players of the season, if I'm honest. Rice has come into form in the right bit of time. And some of you, like Catch, that are drawing out Rice, what were you not saying at the start of the season? Real Madrid will work hard. It's their ground, and they have a point to prove after that smashing last night. And they just need to take Arsenal, for example. Arsenal did not let you come into their backyard and you know, start putting your feet on the table and drinking cartons with your mouth and whatnot. You can't let us do that at Bernabeu. I hope we can. I hope we can. The thing I hate is everyone points to the wages when you tell them it's physiological, physiological, you know, you're saying mad words. Physiologically dangerous to play them this much, specifically the new Club World Cup. Player welfare, I don't know how you fix it, but I'm sure there must be a player union, not even just isolated to England or Spain or whatever, like a general one. They need to band together, because again, I'm not getting at clubs, but Man United are jetting off at the end of the season to go play an international friendly somewhere. You mentioned the Club World Cup, which is expanded. This very competition, the Champions League's got more games. I'm sure the Euros and the World Cups, there's talk about expanding that. They don't care about the players. They don't care about the players. All these presidents will come out and say is have bigger squads. Why? They don't care about welfare. More games means more TV rights. The Premier League are getting rich, and richness, obviously greed. They're gonna run that one till the wheels fall off. The other leagues, the Premier League's running away, so they're looking at ways. So it doesn't surprise me why certain people wanted the Super League. They don't care about the players. That's why with all this money in the game, yeah, I think the players deserve it. I think the players deserve it. They're the ones playing. If every player, and well, even the coaching staff and the managers, if every player in every league said, fuck it, we're not playing football no more, it doesn't matter what team you support. There's no football in it. It is what it is. We should play Tini at the Bernabeu so Skelly can easily invert, so Saliba and Timber give us a solid back four. Partey is a general, very cultured baller. Well deserved from Arsenal. Can't lie, can't hate. Big up DG Muskie K. Big up yourself. Hey, you thought you was going to do a hate along. It's dark. I feel wobbly for Leon. You lot are gonna move to them, bro. Leon's not gonna do nothing. I hope I'm wrong. Don't get it twisted. I hope I'm wrong, because I need United to go out, but I don't think Leon are gonna do it, man. I don't think they're gonna do it, man. Protect Kivior with a box for Partey, Rice in front of Kivior, and Saliba creating the box and keep everything wide. Arsenal pee me off because it's just a couple of tweets and signings and we're lit. Arteta's talent ID isn't there though. You'd hope Berta helps pattern that. Amen. Talk young blood. I think some of the instructions he gives are a bit odd. Same as Hover. Imagine if Rice followed through and crossed it. But that's obviously games like that. You kind of need to go against the script. And then we're talking about like a psychological battle. Obviously, Odegaard is telling you to cross the ball. The set piece man is saying cross the ball. There's a reality where you cross the ball and we score. But that's where you need to go off script. And I do think that's only on an isolated occasions. Sometimes you need to go off script. I do think sometimes we do everything by the book. Rice doesn't see it, sees it, do it. It doesn't happen. And obviously big up Saka, because apparently Saka told him if you feel like you can do it, innit? And to do it once is one thing, but twice. Rice's missus is going to get pregnant off. There's no way. There's no way. If I'm Declan Rice, my missus is getting pregnant. Twins, everything. Maybe side things as well, allegedly. I think tonight's game could have surprises in store for us too. They're not going to be as straightforward as people think. It's looking like such. Big game from Partey. Worried about Kivior at the Bernabeu. I think the atmosphere will intimidate him and might get the best of him. Well, I don't know what to say, but Kivio, you're going to have to pattern. DG, huge W to Arsenal. Dortmund fan here. I was rooting for Arsenal, not because of the last season, but I always support underdog teams. I hear it. MLS has the confidence of Willock. Big up Joe Willock, but no. Lewis-Skelly's better than you've ever been. Like, Joe Willock was all gear, no idea. Shout out to him, though. Skelly ain't afraid of nothing, and you can see that when he makes mistakes. And as mad as it is, it's just a game of football. Like, as much as it's the end of the world if you make a mistake in any game, much less Champions League, it's a game of football. If you have a bad game, so what? If you make a mistake, so what? If you're a doctor and you make a mistake, people are dying. If you work in law enforcement or a judge and you make a mistake, people are getting sent away innocently. It's a game of football. And I know it means the world and people will throw them at the mouth and that, but it's a game of football, bro. You're not trying to make mistakes. They happen. And he's not afraid. He ain't afraid of a risky pass, but it's more the fact that Lewis-Skelly doesn't hide like his body position. He wants the ball, but he don't play within himself. It is what it is. It's important to stay humble and focus on next Wednesday's game. Truly believe that if we get well organized and disciplined, then we can get through. Wanyeri instead of Saka to confuse them. No, I hear that. Saka's got to play, bro. Can't police people's feelings. Saka's got to play, man. DG, Odegaard told him to cross the ball. That's how you know it wasn't Arteta or set piece coach, just individual performance. Big up the players. The game plan got us that. The individual brilliance was the seasoning with Rice and whatnot and went off script. Doing my badges, DG. I love rewatching matches. Same, and I'm a bit weird. Like, I'll watch a match, but just watch certain players. Because, again, in real time, you might blame certain players for certain things or certain mistakes. You watch a game again without emotion or watch it, you see several bits and pieces. I need to get back to that tactical analysis sort of content, but you didn't watch it. So I said, fuck it. You know what's crazy? I don't see any Madrid fans not giving us credit. Madrid fans are real with it. You need to rewatch that today. Sterling ain't touching the turf at the Bernabeu unless we have more injuries in the front line. Sterling scoring. Why are you guys? And you know what I would say? The ref was a bit shaky, but you see when it's decent refereeing or dramatically better refereeing from the Prem. I hate to be that guy, but why are you guys acting like the tie is done? If Real Madrid score 2 early goals in the return leg, it's game on. It's game on regardless. Make it difficult for them. Too wise for your age, my friend. I wish. Which is better in your opinion, the champs or the Prem? What are you referring to win it or just in general? If I was a player, I'd rather play in the champs. As a fan, and if I was a player, I'd rather win the Champions League than any domestic league, if I'm honest with you. I'd love to win both, but I'd love to win. I think the World Cup must be the biggest thing you can win as a player, or like the gas thing. And it's the champs, then it's La Liga, Premier League, whatever you want to have it to, man. I told you, Deluded, that Declan was the best DM in the world, and you scoffed at me. Hey, technically he's playing as an 8. I don't want you, man, to win it at all. I hear it. The game's the game. You're not supposed to. And one thing that annoys me, not necessarily you lot, because there's banter. Most football fans, that fans of the game in their club second, they'll do the banter and agendas. Like a lot of you here, you can sit down and have a conversation. But I do think some Arsenal fans, and again, I understand it if it's more the media because they have a duty to be impartial and fair and whatnot. But again, I'd throw them in because it is what it is. Stop seeking or attempting to get people on side and whatnot. They don't have to rate our players. Who cares what they have to say? They do a lot more talking about our players. They've done a lot more talking about Declan Rice than we have. They do a lot more talking about Saka than we have. Lewis-Skelly the same. Magalhaes the same. Magalhaes and Saka. How much fucking peasants, pardon my language, have these lot been compared to? Man are saying put Saka left back for who? Phil Foden. Phil Foden's still talking about as a child, 24 years of age. Stunk up a World Cup and 2 Euros. And that's who you want to... And I actually think Foden's a generational talent, all of that stuff. But he never does it. Stop seeking external validation. Forget them. Who cares? As both a Madrid and Arsenal fan, this performance needs to happen for both teams. Madrid been deserving a pace in a while now. Carlo needs to go. Should have gone since last season. I mean, he needs to come manage Brazil. And he's like a father figure to Vinicius as well, going back to what we were saying. If Arteta could figure out how to deal with lower mid-blocks and with a prolific striker and more depth, Arsenal will be unstoppable. But always a couple of ingredients short of a sandwich. Tie isn't over at all. Devil's advocate time. Should we win the champs? Do you see Saliba still moving? Yeah, eventually you're going to play for Real Madrid. Like, it's going to happen. Like, you look at Trent, you've won every damn thing you could win at Liverpool. It is what it is. I know he's an Arsenal fan and all that, but you got one career. If you've played for Arsenal, which was your dream, and Real Madrid anyways, but if you get to win trophies at Arsenal and do it all and go play for Real Madrid, fair enough. I don't expect anyone to stay. I don't know for Wanyeri or Lewis-Skelly. I hope they're here for life. I hope Saka is, but at some point Saka might say, you know what? I've played for Arsenal. I've won everything. I've gone from being a young boy to a young man to a full-grown adult. You know, got a girlfriend now, probably going to get married one day, you know, kids, all of that stuff. I want to try something different. And you owe it to yourself to do that. You owe it to yourself because at the end of the day, you're going to be 35 and think about what coulda, shoulda, woulda. You don't know how much I love Arsene Wenger, and I don't think he regrets not leaving Arsenal. But he always talks about I could have managed the French national team. Real Madrid wanted me. This one wanted me. That one wanted me. The other. I wonder if he sits there sometimes and thinks what could have been. Even if you went there and stunk up the place, at least you experienced it. I hope Berta can do a madness. Vinny won everything. He might leave soon. I think the racism is gonna make him cut, bro. I think the racism is gonna make him leave, man. He's gonna have enough. And what annoys me in Spain is a bit like here. It's like you just got to get on with it. He brings it on himself. For obvious reasons, I'm not gonna even delve anymore on that. No, Real Madrid ain't coming back from that. Arsenal ain't conceding for. I hope so. Put it this way: as an old grandpa, if I never see a Champions League win, I won't be too upset. If I never see a Premier League title before I go, devastation. Less of that inner circle. You're gonna live a mad life. I'm different because even if I was your age, I want to win the champions of Europe. Do you mean games at the Emirates? I've been the champions of Europe. You'll never sing that. I don't want that anymore. I've seen us win the Prem. I ain't seen us win the champs. I've seen Chelsea be little boys in this thing, win it twice. I've seen City. City was never a big game, and we've all seen what they've gone on and done. I've seen Liverpool come back from 3 goals down in the final. I've seen Chelsea win it at Bayern Munich's backyard and all that. I've seen us 13 minutes away from winning it. I've gone through too much since that 06 final to everything that's happened in the Emirates era, the good, the bad, the ugly, in general, let alone the champs. I need that. I can die a happy man. Nobody can talk to me if we win the champs. Stranger things have happened. But I do think, yeah, with Arsenal, I feel like in my content creation career, I think we have to be perfect for us to win the champs. I don't think we get them that little jammy one. Exactly. And when you end up like Kante and Saka, they I don't know the word, but you're a grown adult and they talk like you're a boy. And I don't know for Kante, but Saka, who's never done anything but kick football, like everyone, when he missed a penalty, what happened? They didn't care. First, it starts off if you look at lewis-skelly and Saka, oh, you know what, Saka's one of the good ones. The minute Saka missed a penalty, he's still a black bastard. It doesn't matter. You fucking miss, you shouldn't be playing for our country. There's no English person called Bukayo, mate. What the fuck does that mean? It's one of them. DG, mate. Discuss lineup for Brentford. Total B and C team for me. I'm going to say it again. Rayo, we ain't even got a C or B team. I think some men are going to have to play. We're going to have to give 45 minutes, 20, an hour, be a bit cute and clever. The same kind of approach with Everton. But I think I said Rayo, White plays right back for me. You know, Partey might have to do a job there. So White can go centre back and you give Saliba a day off. But if anything, I want to keep the defense the same, if I'm honest with you, because we still owe it to ourselves to put our best foot forward and continue the momentum and the optimism and that. Like the Real Madrid game is past us now. If I'm honest, we now need to focus on the 2 others. But Raya in goal, White right back, Tierney left back for me, Kivior and Saliba. Pull probably Saliba off at some point when we can. I think Rice will be good to go. So Rice will be there. Thomas, I'm going to need you to take a seat on the bench. Jorginho, Rice. For me, I wouldn't even, you know what? You could even put Tierney left wing and Zinchenko left back, you know, and that saves something. But I would say I want to see either Trossard, because Trossard was on the bench. I want to see Trossard in the 10 or Zinni in the 10. And then like either Martinelli, Sterling and Wanyeri, just make it happen up there. The only one I can kind of predict is we all imagine Wanyeri start. You never know. Such is life. You know what? I don't think twice about not playing Bukayo Saka, but surely Wanyeri starts. Maybe Wanyeri plays in the 10 ahead of Odegaard. But Odegaard was on the bench against Everton. Surely he's got the minutes. Timber and Saka should be rested. Yeah, bench settings. Saka is still building. He needs at least 45 minutes. I'm not sure, you know. I think we've got to be a bit cute and clever. I hear you. I think I would say about half an hour. Well, yeah, 45 max. 45 max. 45 minutes max. Lag. Hello? I don't know if I'm still lagging. We still lagging. We good. Like, yay, nay. Yay, nay. No way. Have you seen what Matic said about Onana before the game tomorrow? No, update me. You're good. Okay, thank you. I think that might be on your end, my boy. Raya, White, Kivior, Saliba, Zinni, Jorginho, Merino, Odegaard, Wanyeri, Trossard, Sterling. Yeah, you could throw him. We win the champs, no one can tell us nothing. Amen. The goalposts will move from champs of Europe. You'll never sing that to champs of Europe more than once. You'll never sing that. The goalposts are going to move. Liverpool win the league like last time. Oh, the league, the standard of the league is dead. You won it during COVID. That's what haters are going to do. But for me, either way, you can say whatever you want. Just like with the Premier League in the last few years, you can say whatever you want about my manager. I'm going to back you. You can say whatever you want about my players and my manager. If it said 2023, 24 or 24, 25 or 23, 22, 23, 23, 24, 24, 25, any of them years, you win the Prem, that's your business. If the standard of the league is dead and Arsenal only won the league title because, you know, everyone else is poor, what does that say about the other 19 teams? If we win the Champions League, and it's a big if, and yes, step in the right direction, a lot of football to still be played and a lot of twists and turns, getting through Real Madrid, even with our cushion, let alone the next, we've won it. Say what you want, we've won it. Cool. Winners win, losers explain. You can explain. You can explain why we didn't win it. I just know we'd have the champs, and Arteta goes down in folklore, and Arsenal players go down in folklore. The ALM boys are there. Saka finally gets it. So let them do it. He's been getting that racism since he joined. He's getting more thicker skin to it. I only see Vinny moving to Saudi or back to Brazil. Maybe PSG if they gaslit him well enough. Late to the chat, but generally not trolling. Can Party even travel to Spain with the acquisitions? I can't say that word. I don't know. I don't even know about that off the field business. Like, I don't want to speculate, but boy, I guess we'll have to see, innit? If Saliba wins everything with us, he can do whatever. That's it for me. It's naive if you think Arteta's going to be here on a Wenger thing. At some point, Arteta's going to think, right, I want to try something else. I want to be outside my comfort zone. We have to win the champs. That's a must. Now, you don't see it on TV, but Bellingham was frustrated all game, sulking around the pitch, couldn't get nowhere near Party. Carlo's tactic and management fits international football compared to club. It's mostly foreign managers that rate the foreign fans that rate the champs over the Prem, but OG Gooners like me from M5 will always want the title above everything else. Okay, well, I'm not from N5. I'm from North London. I want the champs, bro. I hear you, man. That's gaslighting us. I want the champs, bro. One player, Thomas Partey, seeing him in 4K is a different player on the pitch by a mile. Control, guile, reading of the game, and passing is unreal. L Bags, I hope your head's not hurting that much, man. I thought you'd still be drinking. Real Madrid have been known to pull back from games like this. Arsenal will be the exception in the second league. World Cup champs, whatever the league is. We've won the PL 13 times. We can do with a CL. English fans secretly want Arsenal to win. Probably only little kids. If you don't support Arsenal, I don't think you want us to. Who was the coach who said his job is to get the team to the final third? After that, it's on you. I think it was Pep. Boy, it's just football, bro. Smash the like and subscribe if you're new here. Kivia look better against Bayern away than he did at the Emirates, in my opinion. So I don't know. Football's a funny old game, man. We're gonna have to see part-time Party. What a name. Big up yourself. Jamie, big up you because you're always in the chat. Man has property in Spain and he's there every holiday. He gets you, man. Just don't like him. I'm just gonna talk about on the pitch. I don't know what's going on there. Dream chasing, but big if we win the champs. I'm starting Saka for Ballon d'Or. Run it. Let's get the collective trophies first. Barca are way too good. Inter is going to be too much for you guys. Bring it in. It. Where's your back six at the Bernabeu? I wouldn't back six. I'd approach it again. You're gonna have to ask me on Monday, Tuesday. I'd approach it in the same way. I wouldn't go with a back five. You should have went with a back five in the first leg. Maybe you could caveat that you do something different. Different things happen, but I wouldn't do that personally. Like, it'd be the same thing, the same lineup in an ideal world. God forbid no one gets injured. It'd be the exact same lineup. We'd love to wake up. We'd love to wake up and Gabriel Magalhaes miraculously is recovered. Obviously, you all saw him on crutches, people. I hear it, man. I hear it in a circle, but that's why football's a funny old game of opinions. Because you offer me a Premier League, I want the champs. If you offer me 3 Premier Leagues over 1 champs, I want the champs. Yeah, I do. Almost had to stop myself and think, Wolf, we competed, man. 12 shots, 11 on target, 9. Real Madrid had 9 shots, 3 on target. We had 54% of the ball. And we actually done something with it. There was 8 corners, we had 5. We didn't score from a set piece. That's when I miss Magalhaes. And again, the last half an hour of the game smelt blood. And look at the game management, like 2 goals in 5 minutes. What would you lot say for player ratings? David Raya, give you an 8. A 7, really. You didn't have much to do. Big up yourself. Timber, I'll be real, 10 out of 10. Can't ask anything more from you. Saliba, an 8. Kivio, a 9. Because I think I've got more expectation on Saliba. Lewis-Skelly, 10. Partey, 10. Rice, 20 million. Saka, 10. Marino, I think he was good. I'll give you a 10. Martinelli, strong 8. I think he was very good in the first half. Very good. I think that's everyone. Ben White, Tierney, Trossard, just throw you 7s, man. You weren't really on the pitch long enough to do anything, but it's calm. No Havertz, no Magalhaes, no White, no Gabriel Jesus. Saka not fully fit. Playing with an 18-year-old left back and a backup left centre back times a million, because there's no guarantee Kivio is actually our first choice backup to Magalhaes. Yes, you can do the left-footed thing, and we're running agendas. And we beat the defending champions at the Emirates 3-0. Arteta, there's potential in you, you know. You just need to realise it. Skelly is very similar to Camavinga. Is it fair to say he can be even better? Well, Skelly actually able to stay on the pitch. They both get red cards still. Declan Rice said, I've just gone back to my phone there. It's gone crazy. His phone is probably dinging off. I don't know whether it will ever sink in. It's a historic night. £105 million bargain. Valverde, you done me dirty as well. Because if I didn't gas you up, one of my pet peeves, yeah. One of my pet peeves is seeing people turn. Very Sunday league-esque, but you got to take that ball to the face or whatever. Now Chelsea can qualify for next season Champions League because of us. Feeding the streets. How much would you give Odegaard? Or I'm going to use calling pillow foot. 6. Generous 7. Generous 7. Bro, the cola. And even that, as I said, go and watch Arsenal's players' movement around there. I'm reaching, but go and watch how they were when Real Madrid set up this wall. Is it too far-fetched to think Odegaard was a bit of a screen there? I don't know, but shout out Rice. And Mbappe, you were saying, well, go on to Henry. You might as well sign for us, man. There's no need to play for them. Our home record, 11 games in the Champions League. 11 games, 9 wins, 2 draws, 0 L's, plus 25 goal difference. We're doing all right. And this, we had to get another iconic picture. Poetry in motion. And again, Odegaard and the set piece coach was saying to cross it. Sometimes in games like this, you have to just feel it and go off script. Like if we look at certain things completely off topic, sometimes you have to go off script.
Against this right back, Charlie.
But I felt it. But yeah. Sometimes you have to go off script from one world-class player to another. I am so shameless. Real Madrid haven't kept a clean sheet since February, which is great, man. Like, that's amazing. Duel monsters. Highest ground duel success rate among 234 players from teams in Europe's top 5 leagues with 100+ ground duel contests in all club comps this year. Partey has 68.9%. Lewis-Skelly has 68.6%. I mean, I think he's going to be playing left back, but Arteta, man. I know it's shifting team dynamics. But can we live in a reality, maybe long term, where we could play Odegaard, Lewis-Skelly, and Nwaneri, the Rices and Zubamendis of this world? Lewis-Skelly kind of replicates what you see from Partey on the left-hand side. Declan Rice goes on the right-hand side. You got Odegaard or whatever you want to do. That's what I think we need to evolve and mix and blend. And I'm not saying I want to see different lineups week in, week out, but I think that would help us evolve. We've earned the right in a good way of being predictable. And you can't have consistency without somewhat being predictable. But I think we need to evolve in what we're doing off the field and also a lot of it tactically, if I'm honest with you. Lewis-Skelly wasn't even born when Luka Modric played his first game at the Emirates in 06. The left back had more touches, 74, more completed passes, 54, created more chances too, and registered 1 more assist than the Real Madrid legend. So you did very well if you could play like that against Modric. That was probably the Spurs' Luka Modric, but what a legend he's been in. He's kind of been on, not the peripheral, but like a demoted kind of role at Real Madrid. He came in for a game like this and shit, Lewis-Skelly, you're a better man than me. I'm getting all of their shirts. I'm getting Modric's, I'm getting Rodrigo's, I'm getting Vinicius's. I'm getting something from Carlo, getting something from Courtois. And I wonder if all his brethren must be messaging him and saying, yo, get us this, get us that, get us the other. You look at it, people. He became the second youngest Englishman to start in the UEFA Champions League quarterfinal. He misplaced just 3 passes all night of the 54. And even the beginning of the game, forget when the goals went in and we somewhat settled, and even before that, but he stood up to be counted. And you look at his games, man, like 54, 57 passes completed, 21 final third passes, 8 final third entries, won 4 draws, 1 possession 3 times, made 2 tackles. He didn't have much to do. Could be a very different, it's going to be a very different game in that regards at the Bernabeu. Created 2 chances, he has 1 clearance and 1 assist and weren't dribble pass. Rodrigo got his pocket, mate. We've got to remember it's still Real Madrid and they're going to hit back. Arsenal are a better team than us. They played better. They did a lot of things better. Saliba said, when we keep a clean sheet, we are so proud. We are happy. The whole back line did a really good job today. We have to be proud of all the team. Every player who came in, every player who started the game was good people. And we'll get back into it. The fans pushed us and gave us confidence. Saliba's celebrations, like he needs to score, because did you see him on TV? He's a madman. Smash the likes if you haven't. I hope there's no ceiling, man. Just keep going. Had to get that one in. Had to, bro. Had to get that one in, man. Fair play. Big up yourself. For me, MLS bossed it, man. The kid's too good. Showed Bellingham how to play the midfield role. Plus, remember when he kicked him after the 50-50 challenge? Exactly. And even that, Bellingham rolled on the floor like a pussy. You said you're a fullback. No. Where they doing the Cancelo thing, they put you left back, yet you're right footed for the goal. Just intrigued. I don't even know how I ended up at left back, man. I remember I started off, I wanted to be a striker. Ended up ending up right wing and then right back and then left back. And here we are, man. I actually prefer to play right back over left back. The only reason I like playing left back is because of that. It's Ainsley Maitland-Niles thing. So, yeah, man, we did what we needed to do, man. Like, it's still not sunk in. We scored 3 goals against these, man, you know. And you look at Declan Rice. I don't know why we needed that, but bend it like Declan. Declan twice. Declan Rice has never scored a direct free kick for West Ham before tonight. He's now the first player in Champions League history to score 2 free kicks in a knockout stage game. And despite the fact that West Ham saying, oh, he didn't make the step up from West Ham to Arsenal, he said that was the best moment of his career. Bearing in mind, he's won a European trophy. Saliba's celebrations are always wild. He's almost every guy running around their living room after that goal. Saliba was celebrating like Valverde after knocking Atletico Madrid out. It's true. Saliba just waving. He's a passion merchant. And the disrespect for Declan Rice. Uncle Roberto Carlos, we're sorry, you know. You didn't deserve that. We need to have manners. You thought you was going to man address for our funeral. Psh, can't chat to us. It looks far out. You don't even realize. Do you know what? We were going to touch it and set it, me and Martin, but Mbappe was kind of stopped too close. But then I thought, I've got the keeper side. I practiced this so much, I was going to go for it. I had the confidence from the first one. If it went over the bar, it wouldn't matter. You need to show Odegaard how to do this. Bro. Big Courtois, you know, who had a good game. But go and look at us in the wall as well. And it was a good team performance. Cesc Fabregas. I know that all the highlights will be on Declan Rice, and rightly so. But for me, Bakayo, a special mention, because in football, when you see a special talent like that, do what he did against Real Madrid. Hats off to him. And you also heard the praise from Thierry Henry, people. And then you look at what Odegaard's doing, and the reactions were one thing. Even Jorginho, man, Jorginho was making me deep that it was a madder goal than I thought. Never knocking Rice again after last night. I'll accept the limitations. His silence blew my mind. Let's just get behind the club now, man. Let's just get behind the club now, man. Jude Bellingham said Arsenal are really good. He gave Chunks his shirt as well. It's a bit cringy, but okay. They could have had way more. We were lucky to get away with 3. We're going to need something unbelievable. Fair enough, Jude. 8 goals by Marino in his first season at Arsenal since playing as a striker in February, people. And that was obviously probably his most important goal for the club. Has now scored more goals against Real Madrid with 4 than any other club in his career. I reckon Mikel Arteta knew that when we signed Marino. Yes, I'm being shameless. The gaffers deserve propaganda. I'm not going to lie. The only dampener on the game would have been Timber, Saka, and Timber, Saliba, Saka. Yeah, all 3 of those. I hope they're all right, man. I reckon Declan Rice just took a cut. And we got to remember, the ladies' side showed us how to do it. They sourced Real Madrid's women 3-0 as well. And we were saying, oh, well, I hope the men's side can do it. And the men's side said, hold my beer. And this is why we said, give us Real Madrid. We said it. I said I'd rather Atletico. And I'm sure the Barca fans will be happy because La Masia, Mikel Arteta. Bargain, as Wilshere said. Even when Rice was doing all of this and that and jump, oh, wavy player. And we all fucking love this football club, man. Let's see what the gaffer has had to say, man. Let's see what the gaffer has had to say as well, folks. I'm very proud. We had a very complete and big performance collectively, and you need that in the organization. And what we had to do to dominate the game and to create Madrid problems. This night is all about two factors. One is the atmosphere that we created 15 minutes before kickoff is something I haven't seen before. So playing with that energy, with that commitment, with your crowd makes a huge difference. And then magic moments, individual moments that decide all matches. And the first 2 goals of Declan sum up the night, which is true. But this is why we need a bad boy winger. We need a striker. We need a couple others that can make those things happen, do things off the cuff, because this is an exception rather than the rule in that regard. On Declan Rice's free kicks, he's been very determined because we have talked in the last few months that we haven't scored a direct free kick since September the 21st. Burnley away, Martin Odegaard. So it's been a long time. Didn't Saka score against PSG? I could be wrong. And to score 2 goals in 12 minutes of that magnitude, of that quality from the same player, a player that has never scored a free kick before in his career. I mean, what are the odds? He's done it tonight. I'm a big believer that the crowd played something with the energy that they put in and helped us massively in the game. And I must admit, I've said this about Fulham. For all my criticisms and praise for Mikel Arteta, I don't accept people that follow anyone blindlessly, but I can see why they do it, because his aura and all of that stuff is there. His passion is infectious, especially when you're at the games. They don't go too far for me, but you get the point. On everything coming together on and off the pitch, I was very convinced because I could sense in preparation that we were really at it, that we had the belief and that trust that we could create Madrid a lot of problems. But then it was a theme of the game, make it happen, and then you have to make it happen. But you have that mindset and that belief that things can happen, and we delivered today. It was a hard time, but we are very happy. On Saka and Rice's substitutions, I think Declan, who has played with a broken toe, he deserves that. I think Declan had an issue with his foot. I don't know if it was a tackle or what it was. And Bakayoko was after he got tackled on a foul. I think he had a knock and he had to go. On Lewis-Skelly, collectively, when you play the way we played and have the performance that we had, you need individuals at the highest level. And I think they all took the game to a different level. The individual performance to the standard that is required to beat this incredible team. So I'm very happy. Now it's about consistency. On Marino, it's been a season that we have to adapt. We went through a lot of things. We lost probably our best defender as well for 4 months. So now you're knowing which one Arteta rates out of the big boys. And Jacob comes in and he delivers performances that he's delivering. It's not a coincidence. The way they train, the way they apply themselves, the way they help each other, I think produces those moments. And with Mikel, it's again his commitment, his desire to learn the position, to constantly be thinking of what he can offer to the team, and the team adapting to his qualities and to try to deliver the best outcome. On breaking down Madrid, people, especially that wasn't about us. My feeling was that the team was super convinced and we had to trust that we could do it because we've done it for big periods against the best opposition that you can face in football for 2 years. And if you can do it, if you can do that, you can do it on the day. And especially with our crowd at that level, I think it elevates the team, the level of the team, and we have to manage to beat them. You have to continue to make steps. And tonight we have one in the right direction. Now it is halftime. Now we have to go to the Bernabeu. We're going to have to elevate the level again and be the team we want to be there and to prepare the game to win it. And he was then asked on the significance of the victory. I know how much work and how much decisions a lot of people have made in this football club to live the night like we had tonight. I told them, thank you so much for making us enjoy the journey to come here, and thank you for making me feel so convinced that tonight we're going to do it and we're going to make it happen. It was a genuine feeling because I think we prepared to do that, and now we have to go to the Bernabeu and do it, and that will be another step on the build-up to this game following Saturday's result. A completely different game, 2 different worlds of football and demands from the opposition. You could sense they've been waiting for this game. The moment that we got the draw, there isn't a team or a club that is going to motivate you for the right reasons, because they changed the history of the competition and they are the best team by far in the competition. And our challenge and opportunity was to face them and try to beat them. I wonder how much banter, family banter was going on with Mikel Arteta. Surely some of his friends are Madrid and all them other clubs. On using it as momentum, we're going to enjoy the win because we feel we deserve to do that. But now we know it's just half time. We're going to have to be even better in Madrid to go through. And then he said on the focus of the away leg, they were talking about immediately, you know, great, enjoy it. Now let's prepare for Saturday very well. Then we'll have time to prepare for the next challenge in Madrid. But they're all very excited. On the message, on if this sends a message to Europe, no, because we have our time. We are just again in the middle of it. At half time, however you want to call it, there's still so much to do here. Don't think you can disagree with the gaffer there at all. Carlos said, we have struggled in keeping a compact block all season. There's too much chaos. And they've lost a game by 3+ goals for the 3rd time this season. Sourced 4-0 by Barcelona, lost 5-2 against Barcelona. And then Arsenal, keeping up the theme with La Masia, where Arteta is concerned, beat them 3-0, people. I think we've gone through this already. It was a beautiful night. Oh, no, I don't think we have. It was a beautiful night at the highest stage in the Champions League against a team that's dominated the competition. We had an incredible performance in an amazing atmosphere, something I haven't seen before here. We created a magical night, 2 magical moments of Declan individually, and a magic moment for the team in general to perform the way we've done. It's all about belief. You have to be super convinced that actually you're going to do it. It's a feeling of the game and your actions. You could see the crowd 15, 20 minutes before kickoff already singing and bringing that energy. I'm a big believer in that. Oh, we have gone through this. We have gone through this. We have gone through this. But yeah, we did play with courage and all of that kind of stuff. I'll be watching this all night, said the man of the moment, Declan. I'm speechless. This has never happened to me before. This is the quarterfinal, and we know how much this night meant. It's a real historic night for the club. They, in brackets, his free kicks were really good. To be honest with you, I'm not used to all of this praise and media, just people saying how good the free kicks were. I've seen them back a few times, but now I think I'll be watching all night. It's an incredible moment. I can't believe it. And this is why you flipping signed for our football club. Where he's playing, Marino will keep Havertz out the team. We're still going to need him. I got Zaha at 2:30. So that's in the next stream. So yeah, it's an incredible moment. As soon as I hit the first one and it went in, I thought that's my first ever free kick. Then I just had the confidence over the second one. I just thought, why not? What have I got to lose? And that's what we need off the cuff. I was going to go over the wall and I thought, I've got the keeper's side on a good one. I've been practicing a lot. So yeah, 2 went in and they're just magic moments. They're going to stay with me forever. Credit to the fans, they're unbelievable. From the moment we turned up in the stadium to kick off and to the 90th minute, they were outstanding. We're going to need everyone at the Bernabeu next week because it's going to be a massive night for us. This is probably up there with the best moment in my career in terms of goals I've scored. I think the free kick is probably the best goal I've scored. I think winning next week would probably top that by going into a semi-final and producing something special for this club. Fair enough. Says Fabregas has warned Arsenal not to write Madrid off, which is true. I'd love to say it's over, but after the first goal, I said they needed a second. And after the second, they needed a third. But Real Madrid are Real Madrid. It's true. If you look at the game tonight, there's no chance. But football changes. Nobody expected that Rice scored 2 set pieces. He did that tonight. Football, anything can happen. A lot of the time, something happens at the Bernabeu, like a dodgy penalty. Fair enough. Jude said that's the fact, and Arsenal really good. I know 2 of their goals were free kicks, but they could have had way more. There's a second leg, and that's what we're holding on to. We need something really special, something crazy. But one place where crazy things happen is our house. And they're going to, everything that we did, they're going to try and make their fans do all of that. We've got 90 more minutes at home to pull something out the bag. We're still alive. We've got 90 minutes of football and anything can happen at the Bernabeu. Don't think you can disagree with that there, but we've got to remember. I was originally going to cross it, but Bakar said, if you feel it, then just hit it. And I did. I'm so happy. Prior to today, only Rivaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar, and not to their level, but Hakim Ziyech had scored 2 direct free kicks in the Champions League game, people. Declan Rice is the only one to do so against Madrid in the knockout stage. That's going to be a pub quiz question in a few years, isn't it, people? William Saliba said, even when we were on the coach just before going to the stadium, we saw the fans. There were a lot of them. It gave us a lot of confidence. When you have your fans behind you like this, especially in this big game in the Champions League, you have to be good. It's because of them we played so well. They pushed us and we did well. He said, big night, big game, good atmosphere and a big win. We're so proud to win tonight in front of our fans against a big team. It was a perfect night. We have to keep going like this and go there and win the game again. When we have a clean sheet, we are proud. We are happy. The whole back line did a really good job. We have to be proud of the whole team. Every player who came in, every player who started the game was so good. We have to be proud. We have to take this game for the next match and do the same. And he said everyone was so happy, but we know that the job's not done. We have to be happy, of course, because we won today. But we have to do the same next week, which is true. And if we look at Saliba here, people, he spoke about having no fear. We wanted to win. We wanted to win again. We want to win again next week. We don't have to be scared going there. Tuesday night was incredible because to win a quarterfinal like this against Real Madrid in front of our fans is amazing. But now we have to do it again next week. We want to go there and win the game. We won 3-0 today, but you know it's not finished. There are a lot of things that can happen. We have to go there and win and not defend the whole game. Not defend the whole game is the most crucial thing there. And I think, well, it's not an insight, but it's an insight. And he said, it's the first time I've seen a good free kick from Deck. We don't score a lot of direct free kicks. I'm so proud of him, and I'm sure he'll score again. We are so proud of him, and we hope he'll score again. We are so proud of him because he was amazing today. We're so happy to keep a clean sheet today in front of our fans. We have to win the game next weekend, which is true. On to Brentford. Arsenal handed Real Madrid their 5th Champions League loss of the season, equalizing their worst ever total in a single campaign. It was also their joint heaviest first leg defeat in a knockout tie, people. We had 11 shots, which is our joint most on record since 03-04 by a team in the Champions League knockout against Real Madrid since the 11 Liverpool had in 09. Can't remember that game, to be fair. It's these kind of finishes we need to bag, though. These simple ones, man. These simple ones. Saliba and Kivior are still undefeated like Money May as well. They drew against Sporting. They beat Sheffield United, Preston, Manchester United, Fulham. They drew. They beat Monaco. And they drew against Everton. And you, obviously, it's now 8. So, yeah, they did their thing. Vasquez said, if there's any team that can make a comeback from 3-0, it's us. And if anything, don't write off Madrid, because Belief saw us win 3-0. And nobody predicted that. So it's not too far-fetched. We need to be easy. We have to go again. Simple as that. It's as simple as that. We haven't conceded against Real Madrid. Now, I don't think that's going to stay, but we haven't lost to them. Not that we played them that many times. A man said, from Callum Chambers and Carl Jenkinson to this. Crazy. 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 Real never scored against us. I want us to not concede. Curvy models daily. Fuck it now. Berta knows the party values. Give Partey the general 2 years contract. He's the best. How do we go about the next game? I don't want us to sit to exactly what we did this game. Don't sit there and think we're just going to defend for time. If you get a chance, take it. And again, I hope it's an open game, actually. Because if it's open, that suits us. It's a big if. But if we take that chance, we're gone. Look at this guy. That man last night was calling me a fake fan, but I wanted us to get Madrid because we would have had a chance. Who called you a fake fan? Saka had the Madrid defense on skates. Anytime he was on the ball, backpedaling fast as they can. Declan Rice is legit a set-piece specialist. Yeah. Time for me to call it. We're the favourites now all the way. Chill, 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 chill. Marino is a baller. That says a lot about Havertz selling. Got to watch for dodgy reffing, red cards and whatnot. Amen. We're going to have to. But with that being said, somehow we've been here for an hour and 46 minutes, people. I'll be back in 13 minutes with Czar, people, where I can shut up and he can waffle about the game, people. On that note, one love.